study. Lesson 7 on student's book, page number 16. The title: Disputes, Litigation. Disputes and litigation. Let's start with this question. What do you do if your wallet gets lost or stolen? What do you do if your wallet gets lost or stolen? Kareem.
If it get lost, I will go to the places where I was this day. But if
Yes,
stolen,
so you look for it. Yes.
if it is stolen, I will tell the police.
You will tell the police. So you will report. You will report that you have lost your wallet or someone has stolen your wallet. Good. Look at these two people. Claim. To say that something is true without having any proof. Claim. It can be a verb or a noun. Claim. Look at what you've done. You were driving fast. I didn't see your car. The driver claimed that he didn't see the car, so he hit it. Claim. Litigation. Keep it legal. Litigation. The driver starts a litigation against the one who hit his car. Litigation. Keep it legal. Litigation. The process of taking claims to a court law. If you have got a problem, you go to the court to take litigation, to take court law. The judge to take your right, litigation. Another word, sue. He starts to sue the man who hit his car. Sue is a verb. Sue. To make a legal claim against someone. Sue. Grievance. People raise many grievances and claims in the courts. Grievance. It's a complaint. Something that you think is unfair and that you want to complain or protest about. Look at this woman. She's a manager. I want to raise a grievance. I want to raise a complaint. The driver contends that the accident is not his fault. Content is a verb. Content. To argue that something is true. Content. These are small claims. Many small claims and grievances are not important. They are petty, trivial, petty cases. Doing simple things, trivial, of little importance, trivial. So these are small cases, these are petty cases, these are very simple, they are trivial, nonsense. Small claims or small petty claims and grievances can clog up the courts for months. Clog up, block. Look at the police. The police clog up the street. They block the street. They close the street. Clog up. Most people are in favor of building more courts to protect everyone from criminals. In favor of. I am in favor of having this law. I am a supporter. In favor of. To the advantage of. in favor of. Look at this man. He fell on the ladder or fell on the stairs without being affected by something. Regardless. Regardless. It has two meanings. Regardless. It has two meanings. One of these meanings is carelessly, irresponsibly. He fell without being affected by something else. Regardless, irresponsibly, carelessly. Look at this girl. She wanders in her neighbor's garden regardless, carelessly, without being affected by something. Oh, look at these people. They are the supporters of a team. Supporter. Someone who agrees with a person with a plan. They are in favor of something. They are in favor of a plan. Intend. I intend to complete my studies in the USA. I intend. I plan. Oh, what a beautiful place is it, Switzerland. I intend to travel to Switzerland next summer. Ultimately, finally, in the end, ultimately, I reached my destination. Finally. Now you are going to study the words claim, clog up, contend, grievance, in favor of, intend, litigation, regardless, residential area, and speed limit. We are going to study them tomorrow. Sue, supporter, ultimately, Betty. You can screenshot of these words so that you will study them later. نشوف الحضر اللي حضر. محمد ربيع موجود. محمود الجوهري حضر. محمود الجوهري.
ايوه معاك يا استاذ.
اوكي محمود حضر خلاص. Now start this exercise. I'll give you 2 minutes to think and fill in the space. Answer this question. Yes, Omar Ala.
The council voted in favor of a 20 million housing.
200. Yes, 200 million sterling pound housing development. Thank you. So, in favor of. Very good. Number 2. Thank you, Michael. Yes, Michael.
The company claims that it is not responsible for the pollution in the river.
Thank you, Michael. Very good. Number 3, Abdurrahman Ashraf.
The company has consistently denied responsibility, but it agreed to the settlement to avoid the
Settlement, yes.
To avoid
Of lengthy
claims.
Of lengthy claims. Do you agree? Kareem. Thank you, Abdurrahman. Kareem. What is long here? What is long? The company, to avoid paying a lot of money to lawyers in the courts, so they want to agree to solve the problem. So to avoid what? The expense of lengthy litigation. Yes, very good. Litigation. Thank you, Kareem. Next. Ismail.
Hello, سامعني أستاذ؟
Yes, I can hear you well.
Bill still harbors against his employees for not promoting him. Bill still
Yes. Harbors a yes grievance.
grievance.
Complaint. Very good. Thank you. Next. Thank you اسماعيل. ادي فرصه لزمايلك يا شباب يشاركوا، اللي جاوب ينزل ايده عشان اللي بعده يجاوب تاني. يلا يلا يا شباب، درس مهم جدا. Let's see. أمير عبد الفتاح.
She intends to join the faculty of medicine.
Yes, very good. She wants to be a doctor. Thank you. Yusuf Usama.
The lawyer claims that her client had never been near the scene of the
scene of crime, but we chose the word claims in number 2.
Claims.
The lawyer claims, but here that her client had never been. Another word, but it's stronger than claim. Another word. Yusuf, Osama.
claims استعملناها مرة بس ثواني.
Yes. عمر إبراهيم.
Contented.
Yes. Yusuf. Content. أكد. Thank you, Omar. Yes. Thank you, Yusuf. The lawyer contended that her client had never been near the scene of the crime. Omar.
Eating too much fat causes your
arteries. Arteries يعني شرايين. Yes.
Clog up.
To
clog up.
Clog up. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Please open your students book page number 16 وانتبهوا معايا يا شباب عشان نفصص المقالة، ننتبه نشرحها نحللها عشان نكتب زيها. Now, legal disputes يعني خلافات قانونية. Legal disputes. Read the following essay and discuss these questions. عايزين نناقش الأسئلة دي بعد قراءة المقالة. في عندك 3 أسئلة A, B, C. What are the arguments for more court cases? الموضوع بيتكلم على ناس مؤيدة لوجود قضايا كثيرة في المحاكم. The arguments for more court cases. عايزين نحدد هنا مين اللي بيأيد وجود قضايا كثيرة في المحاكم. A. B. What are the arguments against؟ اللي ضد وجود قضايا لسه بترفض. يبقى people who are for, people who are against. يبقى نحدد هنا اي باراجراف ونقول ايه ليه هم. Why are they for? Why are they against? And B. What is meant by a culture of blame؟ في تعبير عندك هنا اسمه ثقافة اللوم. What is meant by a culture of blame؟ How many paragraphs do we have؟ paragraph 1 2 3 4 وجنب كل واحد فيه نقط كده عشان نكتب الارقام 1 2 3 4. Okay. Please read the essay silently so that you can answer this question. What are the arguments for more court cases? What are the arguments against? What is meant by culture of blame? Okay, I'm going to read with you. The amount of litigation brought against everyday people has increased dramatically in recent years. A key example is the case of a man in Yorkshire who is suing his neighbor after falling on his pathway. He contends that his neighbor was responsible for maintaining the path. The neighbor claims that the man would have fallen regardless. They are now locked in a bitter court case that looks set to drag on for months and cost both men substantial amounts of money. The main argument against such cases is that they are a reflection of an emerging culture of blame. People search for someone to blame for accidents that, in the past, they would have simply taken responsibility for themselves. Indeed, ordinary people suing each other has become so commonplace that countless firms of lawyers have sprung up specifically to deal with these cases. These petty grievances clog up the courts and prevent persecutions against real criminals. However, supporters of litigation argue that court case actually working. Spokesperson for a pro-litigation group states, the increase in legal cases reflects a growing desire in society to protect everyone from the effects of criminal neglect. For them, the opportunity for people to hold others accountable for their own everyday grievances is a key feature of any good society. Ultimately, I believe we must take care to ensure that minor issues which could normally be resolved without the assistance of the courts do not prevent our legal system from operating efficiently. For everyday grievances, the courts should be the very last resort rather than the first port of call. The questions. What are the arguments for more court cases? Why do people like to or prefer to have more court cases or more litigations? Karim.
Because they think that the increasing in court cases actually choose our courts are working perfectly.
Perfectly, efficiently, perfectly. Thank you, Karim. Very good. Supporters of litigation argue that the increase in court cases shows our courts are working. الناس اللي بتؤيد وجود قضايا كثيرة في المحاكم بتقول زيادة القضايا في المحاكم ده بيظهر ان المحاكم شغالة. Our courts are working efficiently, perfectly. Thank you, Karim. What are the arguments against? Why do some people, or why are some people against having more court cases or more litigation in courts? Ashraf?
The imported cases like criminals, and the other are petty cases.
Yes, but in another way, yes, we can say another argument advanced against litigations is litigating for petty cases clogs up the courts and prevents persecutions against real criminals. نوضحها تاني يا شباب الترجمة بتاعتها. بيقول لك هنا رأي آخر متقدم ضد وجود قضايا أو دعوى قضائية كثيرة في المحاكم، ان وجود القضايا التافهه البسيطه دي بتعطل وتعرقل وتعوق المحاكم من منع المقاضاه او رفع الدعاوى ضد المجرمين الحقيقيين. So these petty cases clog up without s the courts بتعطل المحاكم and prevent persecutions بتمنع المقاضاه against real criminals. Thank you. What is meant by a cultural blame? عمر علاء.
People search for someone to blame for accident.
Very good. كمل الجملة. For accidents they in the past they صح إجابتك صح يا إسماعيل. Okay كمل. محمد مصطفى. Thank you. So cultural blame when people. Yes. Have you got another answer or complete?
People that they have to find someone to blame him for something he did in the past.
Very good. They did themselves. People search to blame for accidents. In the past, they did themselves. Thank you.
Says.
Yes.
ينفع it means blaming others for what's supposed to be our responsibility.
Yes, very good. عمر ممتاز. Good.
شكرا أستاذ.
عفوا حبيبي. Now read the essay again and match each paragraph with one of the things. قلنا عبد الرحمن الإساي المقال مكون من 4 فقرات 4 paragraphs. عايزين نحدد هنا اي باراجراف the views of the writer، اي باراجراف حدد راي الكاتب. and which paragraphs the arguments for more litigation، الراي المؤيد لوجود قضايا كثيره. and the arguments against more litigation، والراي المساند ضد القضايا او ضد قضايا كثيره او دعاوى كثيره. and background information دي بتبقى ايه؟ معلومات سابقه او مقدمه. محمد احمد عبد العزيز the views of the writer which paragraph؟
paragraph 4.
very good. and the arguments for more litigation نشوف. حسن thank you. حسن which paragraph decides people who are for more litigation or more court cases؟
I think the first paragraph.
The first? No, I think the first should be the introduction. The first should be introduction, Abdurrahman Hassan. So the first would be background information. Okay, next, Rifat, the arguments for more litigation. Which paragraph?
B.
1, 2, 3. Yes. Which one? The arguments for more litigation. Number 3. Good. Yes. Abdurrahman Abdul Latif. Which paragraph? The arguments against more litigation.
Paragraph. Paragraph 4.
ما قلنا 4 فوق يا حبيبي. 2 ماشي. عبد الرحمن عبد النبي. Yes. Background information.
Number 1.
Yes. Number 1. يبقى هنا when you write and you say you should divide it into paragraphs. The first paragraph should be introduction, and the second should be the arguments against or for, and the third the arguments against or for, and the last one should be conclusion and the views of the writer or the writer's point of view. يبقى في آخر الخاتمة بيكون رأيك أنت أو رأي الكاتب. تعال بقى نحلل برضو الباراجراف يا شباب أو الإساي. Making conclusions. هتكلم على إيه؟ Think. نكتب. What conclusions does the writer reach? Do you agree? الختم اللي وصل ليها الكاتب، يعني هو ختم الموضوع بإيه؟ What conclusion does the writer reach? And do you agree with the writer? عمر إبراهيم.
أيوة أستاذ.
Yes. What do you think? What conclusion does the writer reach? And do you agree?
يعني إيه the writer reach؟
يعني وصل أو يصل إليها الكاتب، يعني هو وصل الخاتمة، هو وصل لإيه؟ هو رأي مع ولا ضد وجود قضايا كثيرة؟ في آخر باراجراف يا عمر. The conclusion. How did he end the essay? كريم مصطفى.
The courts should be the very last resort rather than the first port of call. Resort.
Very good. الجملة دي yes. الجملة دي تفيك ترجمة يا شباب. بيقول لك هنا هو قال إن المحكمة لازم تكون الملاذ الأخير وليس الملجأ الأول. يعني لازم المفروض نحل إيه؟ نحل أمورنا ومشاكلنا بنفسنا قبل ما نروح المحكمة. يبقى what conclusions does the writer reach? We must take care to ensure that minor issues which could normally be resolved without the assistance of the courts do not prevent our legal system from operating efficiently. I agree with him. تعال نقول الجملة دي مرة ثانية. We must take care to ensure. يعني لازم نهتم نحن نضمن أو نتأكد that minor issues إن الموضوعات البسيطة والقليلة والصغيرة which could normally be resolved without the assistance of the courts التي يمكن أن تحل بدون مساعدة المحاكم do not prevent our legal system from operating efficiently. لا تمنع النظام القضائي من العمل بكفاءة. I agree with him. زي ما قال كريم the court should be the last resort rather than the first port of call. Thank you كريم. عبد الرحمن, do you think people should solve minor issues in court? هل تعتقد ان الناس يجب ان تحل مشاكلهم البسيطة في المحاكم؟ Why or why not? عبد الرحمن. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. People should solve minor issues. Where? away
between
from
themselves.
courts.
Away from
Themselves.
courts. Oh,
Yes, in a
between
friendly
themselves.
way. Yes, by consulting others. Why?
Stop.
So as to yes,
So as not to
clog up the
oh,
courts. Very good. And to protect people from criminals, to save our time. So, no, I don't. No, I don't think people should solve minor issues in court. The courts, as Karim said, the courts should be the very last resort, الملاذ الأخير, rather than the first port of call, بدل من الملجأ الأول النداء الأول. Which, if either, do you think is more important? أيهما أكثر أهمية؟ And why? Ensuring everyone has equal rights. نتأكد أن كل واحد لديه حقوق متساوية. Ensuring everyone has equal rights, or persecuting violent and dangerous criminals, أو مقاضاة المجرمين الخطيرين والعنيفين. Which is more important? Ensuring everyone has equal rights or persecuting violent and dangerous criminals? Ismail.
In my opinion, ensuring everyone has equal rights, because if they ensure that, there will not be dangerous criminals and violent.
Yes, we will avoid crimes. Very good. So ensuring everyone has equal rights. We are going to discuss more questions again, but in details. Again, blame culture or culture of blame. زي ما قلنا, what is meant by culture of blame؟ نعيد السؤال مرة ثانية. What is meant by culture of blame؟ قالها عمر من شوية. يلا عمر. إبراهيم.
أيوة sir.
What is meant by culture of blame?
It means blaming others for what's supposed to be our responsibility.
Very good. Yes. When people search for someone to blame for accidents. Thank you. Or to blame someone for accidents which were their responsibility. Thank you. نيجي بقى نلخص الموضوع في السؤال ده. Some people solving issues in courts and some are against. Discuss. يعني هتعرض رأيين. Some people are for, some people are against. Why are some people for solving minor issues in courts؟ لماذا بعض الناس تؤيد وجود قضايا البسيطة في المحاكم؟ يلا نشوف. عبد الرحمن عزت.
أستاذ.
Yes. Why are some people for solving minor issues in courts? From text, you can get the answer from the essay. Abdullah, Mahmoud.
Because it will be more fair.
Because it will be more
fair.
Fair. Okay. Yes. Thank you, عبد الرحمن. Abdullah Mahmoud.
معك أستاذ.
Yes.
أجاوب يعني ليش بعرضه؟
Yes. Why are some people for or against? Yes.
Some people for because the supporter of this viewpoint argue that the increase in court cases show that our courts are working properly
yes.
and ensure that everyone has equal rights.
Thank you, Abdullah. Excellent. ممتاز.
You're welcome.
Yes, Omar Ala. Why are some people against?
Because they clog up courts and prevents judges for important cases.
Excellent, excellent, very good. Now let's read the answer. Michael, some people are for. Read, please.
Some people say that the increase in legal cases reflects the society's desire to protect everyone from crimes and criminals, to ensure that everyone has equal rights.
Very good. And we have to read the letter S without S. Thank you. Muhammad Ahmed Abdulaziz, yes. Can you read, please?
Some people say that the increase in legal cases reflect the society desire to protect everyone from crime and
what about against? Against, please.
I think such pretty grievances clog up courts and prevent prosecutions against real criminals.
Excellent. Thank you. Now, what is the main purpose of sending people or criminals to prison? ايه هو الهدف الاساسي من ارسال المجرمين للسجن؟ الهدف. What is the main purpose of sending people or criminals to prison? Let's listen to Muhammad Mustafa. What do you think?
To protect the society from them.
Very good. To protect people from criminals. Good. Abdullah Mahmoud.
It is to punish them and consequently rehabilitate them and protect them.
ايه الحلاوه. ممتاز يا عبد الله. احسنت يا بطل. احسن دكتور عبد الله في الاردن. Yes, very good. What's the main purpose of sending people or criminals to prison? So criminals should be sent to prison to protect society. Good, Muhammad Mustafa. Criminals should be sent to prison to punish the wrongdoers and reform them. يعني نعاقب المخطئين ونصلحهم. زي ما قال عبد الله rehabilitate. يقول لك ايه؟ يعيد تأهيل rehabilitate. خطة في 10 rehabilitation. They are sent to person to rehabilitate them to live again with other people. دي من أهم أسئلة البوك يا شباب. So the main purpose of sending people or criminals to prison to protect society, to punish the wrongdoers and reform them, and to rehabilitate these criminals to live again with other people. Okay, let's stop here. Thank you. I'm going to stop recording. Have you got any questions? Abdullah?
Thanks.
Yes. Abdullah, have you got any questions?
Thank you. No.